I've been working with and managing teams for over 20 years, and I've seen every flavour of terrible feedback. The vague nonsense, the compliment language, the feedback that comes 3 months too late to be useful. Giving good feedback isn't complicated. You don't need a psychology degree. You just need a framework that actually works. Today, I'm giving you the CLEAR framework, 5 steps that will make your feedback specific, actionable, and actually heard. So whether you're managing a team of 50 or you're just trying to have a difficult conversation with a colleague, this is for you and it works. So let's get into it. C is for context. So first up, context. You need to set the scene. This is where most people go wrong immediately. They launch straight into that you need to improve your communication, or that wasn't good enough. And the person receiving it is just sat there thinking, what? What are you on about? Context means providing when it happened, where it happened, and what happened. So, an example, when? In Tuesday's team meeting. Where? In your email to the client. What? When Sarah asked about the deadline. So here's a real example from my team. You've been a bit short with people lately. In this morning's stand-up, when Tom asked about the project timeline, your response came across quite abrupt. Can you see the difference? One's vague and arguable, the other is specific and factual. You can't improve what you can't identify. L is for listen. L stands for listen first, and I mean actually listen, not the thing where you wait for your turn to talk. So before you launch into what you think happened, ask them what they think happened. As an example, how do you think that meeting went? Or what's your take on how that landed with the client? Perhaps walk me through your thinking on that decision. 2 things happen here. 1, half the time they'll identify the issue themselves, job done. And 2, you might actually learn something you didn't know that completely changes the situation. I once gave feedback to someone about missing a deadline. When I asked first, it turned out they'd been waiting on information from another department for 2 weeks and nobody had told me. Imagine if I'd just waded in accusing them of being disorganised. So, listen first. You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. E is for effect. This is where you explain the impact of the behaviour, not your feelings, not your opinion, the actual tangible effect. So here's some examples. That was unprofessional. When you interrupted Sarah 3 times in that meeting, she stopped contributing and we lost her input on the budget, which we really needed. Your emails are too aggressive. The client forwarded your last email to their legal team. We're now in a formal dispute that could cost us the contract. By the way, I really hope that doesn't happen. See, no judgment, just consequences. People might try to argue with your opinions, but they can't argue with facts. The project was delayed by 3 days is a fact. I felt you weren't committed is an opinion. So effects can be impact on team morale, impact on clients or customers, impact on deadlines or budgets, impact on other people's work, impact on reputation or relationships. You need to make it real to make it matter. A is for action. What specifically needs to change? Now, this is not the time for vague, inspirational nonsense like, I just need you to be more proactive or show more initiative, because that's about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Actions need to be specific, not communicate better, but send me a progress update every Friday by 3 p.m. They need to be observable, something you can actually see happening, and achievable. Don't ask for perfection, ask for improvement. So, as an example, try to be more organised. Start using the project tracker we discussed. Update your tasks by the end of Monday and Thursday. And if you're blocked on something, can you flag it immediately rather than waiting for the weekly meeting? The key is to involve them in the solution. So, what do you think would help here? What support do you need to make this happen? You're not dictating terms, you're problem solving together. Finally, R is for review. You need to follow up. Giving feedback once and assuming it's sorted is like planting seeds and never watering them. Completely pointless. So set a specific time to check in. Let's catch up next Friday and see how this week's gone. Or I'll sit in on your next client call so we can discuss how the new approach is working. This does two things. One, it shows you actually care about their improvement. And two, it creates accountability. But here's what review isn't. It is not micromanaging. It is not hovering. You're not checking up on them like they're a teenager who came home late. You're simply closing the loop. We identified an issue, we agreed on actions, and let's see if it's working. And if it's not, you have another clear conversation. That's management. It's not one and done. Before we wrap up, 3 massive mistakes I see constantly. Mistake number 1, the ambush. Don't surprise people with feedback in the corridor or worse, in front of others. Just say, can we grab 20 minutes this afternoon? I want to chat about the client presentation. Give them a heads up because nobody does their best thinking when they're ambushed. Mistake number 2, the therapy session. You are not their therapist. You are their manager. So focus on behaviour and impact, not on psychoanalyzing what they did. You don't need to solve their childhood issues. You do need them to stop being late to meetings. And mistake number 3, the delayed reaction. If something needs addressing, address it within 24 to 48 hours, not 3 weeks later when they've completely forgotten what you're talking about and can't do anything about it anyway. Giving feedback isn't about being the tough guy or catching people out. It's about helping your team be brilliant. When you use the CLEAR framework, context, listen, effect, action, review, you're not being mean, you're being clear, and clear is kind. Your team wants to do good work. Most problems come from them not knowing there is a problem in the beginning. That's your job. Give it a go, practice it, use it in your next conversation, and I promise you'll see better results. If this was helpful, drop a comment with your biggest feedback challenge and I'll try to cover it in a future video. And if you want more practical leadership frameworks that actually work in the real world, subscribe so you don't miss them. Right, that's it from me. Go forth and go and give some decent feedback. Take care.